Hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And we're live. Hey, everybody. This is Melanie. And I am sitting out back in the backyard, I guess it is, going live. So I hope somebody wants to join in. I'm still kind of in my car. I'm in the back of my car. I'm in my trunk. I popped the trunk on y'all. I was trying to prepare for this live. I was like, I'm just going to prepare a little bit more because sometimes I get a little uneasy speaking from just off the top of my head. But that's just the way this live is going to have to go. It's just going to have to go from the top of my head, okay? I'm going to try to concentrate on you all, but I got some busy neighbors. So I'm going to have one eye on my busy neighbors too. It's all love, but they just so busy over there. I wouldn't have it any other way. So welcome in as you all come in. This is Melanie. You on the Yum Yum Cafe page, a page that I've had for several years. And so I'm deciding to use the live button, the live option a little bit more often as I come to you and share with you my experience as I go through or am going through a 21-day raw food detox cleanse. If you saw the live yesterday, I explained to you that yesterday, thank you for the hearts. Yesterday was was my 17th day, so today is my 18th day that I just start eating raw foods. And I did not prepare for it. I didn't go through any big type of ritual to get to it. It just kind of happened, and it happened because, as many of you know, I have a cookbook, and the cookbook features all raw, living, vegan, plant-based foods. And so in promoting that book, I found myself, cooking out of it so I can take pictures and I'll come out in the back, take pictures of it, and I'm like, well, I gotta eat it. So I hope y'all guys can hear me okay. I'm in the backyard. I'm in my office. Okay, I'm in my office. So I'm in the back of my car. So I decided that I wanted to do these a little bit more often because it really helps me to create my voice, to start creating my voice, to start, so people just won't have an assumption about me, that I can just be at open and just share with you a journey, I guess you may want to call it, whatever, a journey, okay. So I've been doing these for a couple of weeks now, and I'm enjoying them. I'm feeling more comfortable, and I'm the kind of person that there's certain scenarios I would love to be in. I'd love to be in a beautiful kitchen and a beautiful home and all these beautiful things around me, but I don't have that going on in my life right now. But I do got the back seat of this truck, so we're gonna make it do what it do. This is kind of like my office. But what I wanted to just come in today and talk about is water. Water. And again, I was going to try to take some notes and really have a focal point, but I don't have that because I just got excited and I hit the live button. So in the future, just kind of work with me if you don't mind. Because in the recipe book that I have, I do start off with water, infused water recipes, and then I also talk a little bit about chlorophyll water. So what I wanted to do is share with you how I get my water intake and what I do. This is something that has just become natural for me. And hey, I see some of y'all are making comments, but check this out. My phone is cracked and busted, so some of the stuff I can read and some of the stuff I can't read, but I will get to it, I promise you. I see something about seasoning you put on your salad, something I see in there. I'll get to it, I promise. But I just wanted to share with you on how I intake my water. I'm not 100%, even though I consider myself an excellent raw food chef. There are so many other recipes and things that I have not tried that I want to explore. There's so many options that are out there that I've yet to been exposed to. So I'm definitely open. Even though this past 18 days has been raw, what I'm realizing is that I have not taken in a lot of living foods. I'm not taking in a lot of living. I've done the raw, but the living component is what I'm kind of missing out on. And what I mean by living is the sprouts. Even though I do soak my seeds and my nuts, more so green sprouts, chlorophyll, wheatgrass, and those type of things. Okay? And so what I think I'm going to do, and I'm still going to be prayerful of it, is that after I complete the 21 days, I think I'm going to go into a more living food, consuming more living foods. And that's probably going to comprise of a lot more juices and some smoothies. And we're not talking about pretty smoothies. We're talking about green, gut, get in there smoothies. So one thing I have to do is start my sprouting, because I do sprout mung beans, and I have a bag. I've had a bag for a while, and I want to get those sprouts out so I can start adding those to my salads. And even though you saw many of the pictures, I didn't have any sprouts, but I want to start adding that and start consuming that more. And I can also juice those too. And I have the recipe for Ann Wigmore's energy soup. But we'll start off with chlorophyll water. So what I like to do is, oh, I guess I brought that in the house. Okay. I like to start off drinking, I like big bottles of water. Okay. So this is about 64 ounces, fluid ounces of water. And it is alkaline. I didn't particularly choose this. Well, I did choose it, but it was no, the reason I chose it because it was alkaline, and I like the size. I don't want to advertise. I like the size of this bottle. Okay? I like the size of this bottle. This bottle holds me accountable for drinking water. When I was going to work every day, or I could say, hey, if I can, get this down at work, I felt like I was doing something. And what I do, this bottle, the water does not come green at all. Okay? I add my chlorophyll to it. This is not any particular brand, but this is just liquid chlorophyll that I add to it. Because before I did the raw cleanse, I was still trying to make sure that I was getting some type of living force or life energy within me. So the chlorophyll green is kind of like the blood, the life force in our bodies, but it's the life force in the plant life. Okay? So that green just triggers life. Now, the best way to get it is from the plants. Make sure no ants. The best way to get it is from the plants. The best way to get it is from the sprouts. But I don't always have access to that. Well, no, it's not that I don't have access to that. I just don't always have it available right then and there. Okay, we have plenty access to it. If I just don't have it available, I still want to hold myself accountable. So I get a big bottle like this. And I'll take my my chlorophyll, and I've already put some in, but I'm going to add a little bit more, just to take, okay, see all that going down? And I'm going to shake that up, and this is what I carry. So I tell myself, Melanie, you got to get through this bottle, some on top, by the end of the day, okay? Shake it up, but don't measure. I mean, come on. I'm not saying you shouldn't, but I don't. Okay? And this goes with me all day. Now, I also do this. You can do this in smaller bottles, but you just got it. What is this? 64 fluid ounces. So this is probably 8. Obviously, 8 of the smaller bottles. But for me, I'm a big girl. Hey, I carry a big bottle of water. And I use water as irrigation. Okay? You may have heard or read that you should drink, or you shouldn't drink while you're eating. Okay? You should, eat your food, chew your food very well. Once it settles in to your stomach, it will digest. You have acids that help it digest. But if you drink water, that may kind of cause the acids, not to help your food digest as much. So it's suggested that you drink before, 30 minutes before you eat, or 30 minutes after, but preferably not while you eat, okay? So I look at this as irrigation. I want this to do to my body what the rain does when it comes down on us, you know, when the Creator sends rain down. And so I'm very conscious of when I'm drinking water. I always like to stand up. I like to hold my head back, and I like to make sure I'm letting the water just flood through my system. Okay, just flood through my system. Does anybody else do this? And if anybody wants to send a heart, a hello, or something, if you're listening now, say hello. Or if you're listening later on the replay, if there's a replay, then just let me know if you're here. So I'm going to show you how I like to consume my water. Okay, so I'll take it. I'm going to step out here for a minute. I hope y'all can still hear me. So I got all this shaken up. And like I said, I use it as irrigation. So if I've eaten something, and my whole goal of eating is that I want to eliminate. Okay, I do not want that to sit on my colon, in my stomach. I don't want that to be swimming, toxins or whatever, to be swimming in my blood or my cells. So I make sure I use water for flushing. This is room temperature. This hasn't been in the refrigerator. It's not on ice. Now if I run a marathon or if I'm in some extreme heat, you know, cold water, ice water does have its time and purpose. But right now, I just want to, I think I ate a salad about an hour and a half ago. Okay? So I stand and I do this. You can sit, but I try not to sit. I don't want to mess with that flow. I want to stand. And I want to lean back slightly. And I don't have to drink it all right now. But I definitely want my body to know that we got some water coming through. So something needs to happen. Something's got to move. Okay? And believe it or not, some days I'll be totally engaged in this water. And some days, right before I go to bed, I may have like this little bit left. Like a corner still left. So I'll wake up in the morning. And this will be the rest that I'll drink in the morning to get my day started. So I just wanted to give you an idea of how you can consume chlorophyll, how you can consume water, and how you can use water as irrigation, especially if you are eating raw foods, if you're eating lighter, if you're consuming more plant-based and no fried foods, no meat, no sugar, no salt, anything of that nature, and you really want to help your body purge and cleanse and move your system, then then I would suggest you go for a big old bottle of water. Okay, now this could change because sometimes this water is not available, but I just try to get a large, you know, and when I'm at work and I sit it in front of me and it's always visible, the goal is always there. I always say, okay, and you know, it just helps me keep on pace with this drinking water. Now that's just the basis. You know, the food and everything we eat, that's all fine and good and delicious, but you can probably live to be 100 years old and never eat any cooked food or a hamburger or fish or radish or, you know, spinach. You can live, you know, without those foods. But you probably won't go past 7 days if you don't have any water in your system. You probably won't make it 7 days. I would not try that, but this is the life force, and that's what you want to put into your system. Okay? So again, in Taste the Vibration, Detox to Resolutions. I do briefly have a recipe for chlorophyll water, but I really just showed it to you. But what you can do, if you want to add some extra spice to it, you can add mint. You can get some fresh mint. And I try to take it and pinch it a little bit so I can get the essence of it, and I put it in here. You can squeeze a lemon if you want to. You can add ginger to it if you want to. I've never warmed it. If anybody's thinking about doing that, I have never used chlorophyll in a warm tea. I have not. I'm just, I always use it in alkaline, room temperature water. Okay? And you can take this anywhere. Of course, you can take this in capsule forms too, but sometimes capsules, I get forgetful. I'm going to talk about capsules as well, because we're talking about chlorophyll and making sure we have chlorophyll in our system, getting that life force. So even if you're not on a particular cleanse, you at least want to let the body recognize that you're putting live enzymes into your system. Okay? So sometimes this is a good way for me to get started, just to begin with my bottled water. So that's kind of it. One more thing, actually, that I wanted to talk about, that I always keep bringing up, and maybe one day somebody will say, aha, I get it. But I am a distributor for New Body products. I've been a distributor for 25 plus years. New Body by Dr. Paul Goss. It is a brand of herbs and natural herb blends that was created by this elder who is still living, possibly in the Carolinas. I know his daughter lives in Ghana. But if you came out of Houston, Texas, which I came out of, Atlanta, or California, specifically Compton, California, then you know about New Body Detoxing Cleanse. So while I am taking my herbs, while I'm eating, I'm also making sure I take my herbs. And the most powerful herb is CKLS, because CKLS cleans out your colon, kidney, liver, and spleen. I know I talk about this all the time, and I'm gonna keep talking about it. This is a new bottle. By the way, this is the back of my car. This is my trunk. This is where my new business is. So if anybody needs anything, just let me know, and I can pop the trunk for you, okay? So this is my CKLS, colon, kidney, liver, and spleen. So it's a combination of herbs. I can read them to you. Aloe vera rancid, chamomile, casa sagrada, chaparral, mullein, uva ursi, fenugreek, cayenne, dandelion, and eucalyptus. Now when I take these, I take about 3 a day. Now remember, these are plants. These are just plants in powdered, form. It's not a prescription. So in the recipe book, I do give you the rundown on how you should start a detox cleanse with New Body. Y'all, I'm sweating. I'll be right back. I'll be back. Whew. I am hot. Oh. Okay, sorry about that. But I talk about that. I talk about the how you want to get started with your cleanse. And the cleanse comprises of eating 85% raw foods. When you look at your plate, 85% of it needs to be non-cooked raw foods. If you want to steam some broccoli or something like that, that's fine. But when I learned this like 25 years ago, we had a lot of recipe options to come from, but even more so now, it's just about being creative, and you can do it. Like, you can go on a detox cleanse on raw foods and be satisfied. Like, you can be full, nutrient enriched and full, and your taste buds are satisfied. It's not like, where do I start? I remember when I started, I would go to Luby's Cafeteria. We had Luby's Cafeteria in Houston. Shout out H-Town. And because that was just, a place that everybody would eat at Luby's. But as most cafeterias, there is the salad bar, and then there's the meat, the entrees, and everything else. So I would just do my cleanse, and I would pick like 3 or 4 salads because I was a newbie. So I would just get like 3 or 4 salads. But a lot of times we don't think like that. We always think 1 salad, meat, 2 sides, and a dessert. Well, you can have 5 salads, And if you notice what I have been posting, if you've seen the pictures, the carrot tuna, the seaweed salad, the Texas caviar, they would probably fall under the salad menu, but you can add so much to it that you don't feel like you're just eating, lettuce and tomatoes, okay? Especially if you add beans, if you add, other things. So I talk about that in the introduction. I talk about how you can start the cleanse, what is recommended. This is from the New Body Product Corporation. This is the same regimen that I was introduced to in 1993. And it involves taking CKLS. This is just to kind of get stuff moving because some of y'all ain't really moved. Y'all ain't really had a good movement. You may think you have had one, but once you really, really, really have one, you be like, God dang. And I'm not talking about diarrhea, okay? I ain't talking about diarrhea. I'm talking about when you cleansing your colon, your kidneys, your liver, and your spleen, and your blood, and your cells. Now, here's the other catch. This is what we used to do. This is back in the day now. We would drink olive oil. Y'all, I'm seeing some little bugs. We would drink olive oil. Now, I sell olive oil as well. I drink olive oil. I use olive oil as a part of my recipes. If I just make a salad and I don't have a dressing or I have not made a dressing, I put on olive oil because this is kind of like that grease that once the herbs help to, pick up all of that plaque and all that stuff in your gut and your colon that's been there for however long. Just say what you ate Christmas, just this past holiday. Some of that still could be lurking in your system. So once you get the olive oil in as well, now we're old school, so we used to sit around the shop and we used to drink olive oil. Now my teacher, Virgin Sunshine Bourgeois, would drink it like you drink a 40 ounce. We would just sit there and watch him. And we would have, we'd have like gatherings. If a sister or brother wanted to cleanse, you would take 5 of these, wait about 30 minutes to an hour, and then you get in your you get in your olive oil, you drink your olive oil, then you would go home, or if you're already at home, you would just kind of wait until you had that initial flush. And for 7 days, you would take 3 capsules of the CKLS, okay? And during those 7 days, you would eat pretty much everything I have shown you in the pictures, in the recipe book, or any workshop that I've ever presented that you've been to. You would eat just like that. Because while you're flushing your system and you're moving all that out of your system, you're making sure you're not putting all that back in. And when you eat the raw foods, it's a lot lighter, it doesn't stick, it's not like meat where it can sit and rot and it's acidic and have that effect on your body. So as I was saying earlier, maybe I got distracted, that I think I want to elevate a little bit. And thank you guys, those of you who are watching. I'm taking a bolder step now, and I'm going live more often. I want to be more accountable for what I'm doing, and I want to be more accessible to you all if you have any questions. But I would suggest that you do all of your research. It's only so much I know. I've got information that I've known for a long time. Some things change. A lot of new information has been brought into us because of, social, what is it? I won't say social distancing, but media, social media, and those type of things. So the research is all out there. When I talk about food, I talk about it in the aspect of detoxification, okay? And I think everybody should stop, drop, and detox. So that's why as I said before, the title is Detox to Resolution. It's no different than when you take a bath, and most of us take a bath, a shower every day. And the goal is to clean and rid your body of what you've come in contact with. Dirt, energy, sweat, toxins. So you step into the water, you get inside of the tub, or you step into the shower, and you rinse and you wash. And many of us, when you stand up out of that tub, there is going to be a ring around. There's no judgment, that's just how it is. And before that ring was around the tub, that was on you. So the same thing you want to do to your insides. You need to clean yourself out. You just do. It's just good practice. It's just really, really good practice, okay? And so that's why this is what I was introduced to. I'm so very grateful and thankful that this was, my introduction. And this is where I am now, that I have it. Even though sometimes I have not practiced it, I know what I can do. And some days you just have to sit and drink your water and ask the Creator just to send a flush. I don't know about y'all, but back in the day when we used to get drunk and you wanted to, you didn't want to have a hangover that morning, what was the first thing you did? Greetings, everybody. But I know nobody on this feed ever got drunk. But supposedly, if you drank water before you went to bed, you wouldn't have a hangover the next day because the water would flush that out of your system. So the hangover wouldn't be so bad, okay? So you just need to sit and make sure you're drinking your water. And I don't mean just with ice and just sipping. I mean drinking. So I'm going to show you again. This is how I like to consume my water to make sure I'm getting flushed. I like to stand up. I like to make sure I hold my head back. And usually within 30, 45 minutes, maybe a little less than an hour, if I've eaten something, it's about to come out. And if I have taken my CKLS, if I've taken my herbs that are going to help support that, then it is going to come out. And I'm going to tell you, once you start eliminating and you're in control, like if I eat 3, 5, 6 times a day, if I have 6 eliminations that I control, that I make sure when I wake up in the morning, I eliminate. When I eat whatever I consider my breakfast, juice, smoothie, raw foods, fruits, whatever, I eliminate. Whatever my lunch is, I drink my water, I eliminate. Once you get into that practice, and if you notice that you are moving away from that practice for whatever reason, you just kind of got back to some old ways of consuming food, and once you stop eliminating, you're going to say, dang, I do not like how this feels. I don't like how this feels. Well, this is what I say. And I run to my water. And I try to break it. I try to get this out of me. And trust me, what comes out of you, and I don't want to be graphic, but the way it looks and the way it smells, it looks and smells the same way it is in you before it comes out of you. It didn't just look like that when it came out. It didn't just start reeking like that. It had the same texture and the same smell inside of you. Okay? So when you eliminate, some people's like, oh, I go to the bathroom. I don't have a problem with that. You know, they just don't want to talk about it. You know, I get it. But you want to make sure you are truly flushing that out of your system. So what I do is my CKLS, which I sell, which I will always be a spokesperson for it. I know that it just did not get as much play as, say, Dr. Sabi, because Dr. Sabi hit the internet, and so it was like nobody knew anything other than Dr. Sabi. Well, you know, of course it was Dr. Africa, but there was also Dr. Goss. And these are some of our master. I say Dr. Africa, who we lost probably about 2 months ago. But these were some of the master naturopaths that were mid-80s that were on it. And I'm not saying Dr. Sabi wasn't either, but unfortunately some of these other naturopaths just did not get that type of promotion. So it was hard for me to talk about Dr. Goss because everybody, do you got Dr. Sabi? And it was just like, but you know, at the end of the day, it is about whether you get an herb here, there, or anywhere. Mint is going to be mint, is going to be mint. Garlic is going to be garlic, you know, to a certain extent. There's some places I wouldn't suggest you go get your herbs, but my point is, don't be so stuck on this, but be stuck on you, your consciousness, your understanding, and your health and what you need. So I don't know if there's anything else I need to share with you. I'm glad I got to talk to you about water. I'm glad I got to talk to you about consuming chlorophyll. I'm glad I got to talk about my cookbook, which if you want, you can go in this page and you can click the link and you can purchase it and get started with preparing some of the dishes. I also wanted to talk to you one more thing. I was telling you that I like to get my chlorophyll in, but also I'm starting to take alfalfa, which is another product of New Body. And yes, I'm going to read a little bit about alfalfa. Now, alfalfa, you know, I'm going to start sprouting in the next few days because my next journey with raw foods, I really want to do more living foods. So I want to do more sprouts. I'm going to do more smoothies. I don't even know if they're going to be smoothies, really. I just think I'm going to just do energy soup. I wouldn't really call it a smoothie, but it has 3 different types of plants. It's going to have sprouts. It's going to have the recipe in the book, and it's going to have seaweed as well. And I grind that up in a blender, and it gives the impression, but it's really not a smoothie because it's not cold. It's not cold. It's not sweet, you know. It's a little frothy, but I'm going to start taking that in as a means to getting in on the deeper level the chlorophyll and the greens. And so I'm going to also start taking alfalfa. So alfalfa is, it says, and I'm reading from my Natural Way booklet, and I have the smaller version for you all. You know, I've always had that. It's only $2 a copy. But alfalfa may be the most powerful herb in the herb kingdom because the roots are so long, they pick up essential minerals from deep in the soil. Alfalfa contains all 8 of the digestive enzymes and 8 essential amino acids of protein. So I'm going to sprout my own mung beans. And even if I go to the health food store, I can get alfalfa already sprouted, but I usually end up wasting it, okay? I'll take it and I'll put it on my salads, but I usually end up wasting it. Or I'm going to put it in my, that's another thing, I'm going to put it in my energy soup. But along with that, I'm going to take, as I have been, taking about 3 capsules a day, okay? So sometimes you don't want to always take a capsule. Sometimes you don't have to eat the herb, take the capsule, or drink. Or you can decide which vibration works best for you. I don't mind eating alfalfa, and I don't mind putting it in the blender for my energy soup. But I know when I was trying to consume it, eating it, I just always waste it a lot. So you can get the alfalfa sprouts, you can get the mung bean sprouts, but I can do those myself. Oh, like, what is that? I can do those myself because it's just easy to do. I'll show you a little bit about that once I get started. But just make sure you have designed something. In some cases, if you don't want to do it in capsule form, you might do it in tincture form. If not alfalfa, there could be other things that you can use in tincture form. So that's it. Thank you guys for listening in. Thank you for allowing me to share. It's getting a little hot out here. And I'm going to go back inside. But this is my new little spot, my little hangout spot here. And I was just happy to be able to come and share with you. If you have any questions, let me see. God, I wish I could read this. I need a new phone. I just need a new phone. It soon come now. It soon come. She said something about seasoning you put on your salad. Okay, yeah, I do sell seasoning to for the carrot tuna. I have some bottles. If anyone wants some, I mailed some out today. I mailed a bottle out today to California. I had another lady ask me about it who's in California, and then I had a sister that's local that asked me about it. So if you want, I do have a few more bottles if that's something that you need. If you're local, we can meet up so you don't have to be charged the shipping, you know. For the cookbook, I'm not charging any shipping as of yet, so you may want to take advantage of that. And that's what I have to offer you. So thank you so much. I'm going to get out of this heat. I hope to come back and share with you. I hope you learned something. I hope you got inspired. I know now I have a lot of time on my hand. My prayers have been answered. I work at home. And so now I can focus more on what I want to do. And hopefully in the near future, I'm going to get into I'm going to manifest a huge kitchen with an island, beautiful lighting. I have whatever essentials that I need for preparing beautiful, wonderful dishes. As you can see, I've upgraded. I have a tripod. And I'm going to prepare food for you live. Isn't that good? Somebody, if you think that's okay, somebody let me know. And while I'm preparing food, then you could be doing the same thing, and you can just kind of watch me and prepare your carrot tuna while I prepare carrot tuna and some other recipes that are new that I will share with you. So I'm going to manifest. I know it's coming soon. I can feel it. It's out there. There's nothing that I cannot have that I desire. There's nothing that you can't have that you desire. Look at me. I'm in the back seat of my car. I'm making it do what it do. All right? So, greetings to everyone. Thank you so much. Remember to drink your wata wata. Take your chlorophyll, as I've shown you. Gotta find. And just pour it in. And try to drink up. And what I do, I try to drink maybe one of these every other day. Because some days, guess what? I add vitamin C. I add vitamin C to the water. So I'm always getting it in. All right, I've enjoyed you. If there's anything that you need, the sun is kicking. I feel it, okay? So I'm going to go inside, and I appreciate you, and thank you for coming into my Yum Yum channel. Peace.